Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and so I'm participating in the punk vinyl tag for 2026. The prompts were provided for us by our Finnish friend Tommy's Vinyl Knots. And so let's get right into it. Let's not take too long. Number 1, the last punk record you bought in 2025. And for me, it was this Black Flag record, Family Man, from 1984, of course, on the SST label. Below Family Man, it says it's a spoken word / instrumental record. So you've got some Henry Rollins spoken word. You've got some Greg Ginn winky jazz punk going on. Probably nobody's favorite Black Flag record. Probably not even Chris Profi's. But there you go. First punk record you listen to get the year in the right direction. I was big into Death last year and The Whole World to See. So this is your Detroit-based proto-punk from 1975. The Hackney Family, those three guys. And the record was discovered decades later. Politicians in My Eyes. If you've never heard it, go find it, listen to it. The most ferocious, no compromise punk release of 2025. And so this one got a lot of attention, but it's Lambrini Girls Who Let the Dogs Out. These angry young women. I think I said they were from Bristol in my year-ending video, but they're from Brighton. I'm sure that's probably offensive if you're English to mess those two particular cities up. So, Lambrini Girls. Your Dirtiest, Meanest, Drunkest, or just another record find from 2025. So, out of Nashville, we've got Wesley and the Boys. Although one of them is a girl. You've got Rock and Roll Ruined My Life. So this is one of those Sweet Time records on good old black vinyl. You've got great songs like Full Time Asshole, Fight on the Internet, Ruin My Life, and the like. Again, fairly local to me. Number 5, show a punk record straight out of 1986. Well, maybe you'll call it punk, maybe you won't, but I'm going to show Big Black, Atomizer. So, of course, we lost Albini a couple years ago. Steve Albini. And Kerosene, I think, especially, is a really good song. Number 6, show a proto-punk or post-punk record. So these, of course, are very overused terms, especially post-punk. I think everything made after 1980 has been described as post-punk by somebody, and everything recorded before 1976 has been described as proto-punk. We got the Ngazi Family, Day of Judgment. So this is Zamrock, and why is it proto-punk? Because it says proto-punk and Garage Zamrock right on the hype sticker. By now, again, of course, it's a reissue because I don't have any OG Zamrock. So, Ngazi Family, and this is a very good record. Number 7, showed the 26th punk rock on your shelf. So I went for the 26th single in my punk indie box as of this moment. Some of it's indie rock that I wouldn't really call punk, but the 26th one I would call punk, Riot Girl. So we've got Bikini Kill. This is a limited edition red vinyl, so it was a modern-ish reissue of the new radio song. And so you've got, of course, Kathleen Hanna and Toby Vale and Kathy Wilcox. And this one had some participation by Joan Jett as well, because nothing's more punk than Joan Jett. And it's on red vinyl with a little hole. What do we got next? Number 8, show a punk LP or EP with exactly 5 songs. So I'm going to show a very early record by Schizos. And so I don't think this one gets shown too often. This is Fuck Iggy Pop. Now, we like Iggy Pop, so I don't know. Not sure about that. But this was by them from 2017 on Neck Chop Records out of Fullerton, California. So you got Josh Schizo, Kevin Schizo, and Bill Schizo with classics like Poundin' the Pud and I'm Not a Sicko, There's a Plate in My Head. Then you'll notice there were exactly 5 songs on here, as I was asked to provide. Number 9, show a set list or some debris you grabbed from a gig. Not really something I do, so I'll show you some merch. I'm a big fan of beer koozie merch. So this is Thelma and the Sleaze. I saw them live a few years back when I was visiting in Chicago. Thelma, her real name's LG Lauren Gilbert, who I believe lives in Nashville. And basically, they're an all-queer lesbian southern rock band, and they are a fun show to see live. Number 10, show a lathe cut or a flexi disc. I have no lathe cuts and very few flexi discs. The only flexi that I have that's really appropriate for this is this one that I got in my Joachim VCLT package I got a while back. And so this is Weakness in Disguise by a band called Noise, and it's Oi. That's what the Ois is for. They were out of Tacoma, Washington. So it's a picture flexi, play at 45, previously unreleased, new EP coming soon. I have to admit I'm not a huge fan of the flexi format. Show support for your local punk scene. So I showed this in one of my earlier videos, but I'm going to show it again because you probably didn't see it. So this is Slice of Death, which is a comp that came out in 2025 by Tennessee Cold Cuts, a collaborative compilation of Tennessee artists. I became aware of it because Ryan Kidd has a song on here, and so it's a lot of punk and indie and metal. Most of the songs have terrible recording quality. It's lo-fi as hell, so it's very local. They have a Bandcamp, so if you are so inclined, look up Tennessee Cold Cuts on Bandcamp. Right, number 12, show a bootleg punk record. So here's something I bought in an auction. So this is, the 136A there, that's on the outer sleeve. That's just the auction lot number. So this is Hamilton, Ontario's Teenage Head. So the guy doing the Canadian tag, here's some Canadian content for you on the off chance you watch this, Northern Revolutions. And so this originally came out 1979, sort of your power poppy side of punk, straight out of Canada with Nick, Steve, Frankie, and Gord, because I don't think you could have a Canadian band without somebody named Gord in it. And then this came out in like 2014 on something called Barnyard Records, and Discog says that this record, if I was ever to want to sell it, I can't sell it on Discogs. Guess that makes it a bootleg. Number 13, a punk soul we lost in 2025. And so I'm going to go with Dave Allen, the bass player for Gang of Four, born 1955, and left us in 2025. This, of course, is Entertainment. Now, I was making fun of way too many records being post-punk earlier on. Basically, when something's described as post-punk, it should be described on a 1 to 10 scale, where Gang of Four is a 10 on the post-punk scale. And most records are like a 1.3 on the post-punk scale. Number 14, a song that sounds like it wants to start a revolution. So we've got this Bad Brains live album. The Youth Are Getting Restless, live in Amsterdam, 1987. So I'm thinking about songs like The Youth Are Getting Restless and Band in DC and Revolution Revolution Dub. There's one thing I really don't like about this record. I don't like it that it's on white splattered vinyl. That seems like a wrong choice for a Bad Brains record. 15, show a punk record featuring World War II imagery. So I'm going to warn you right now, you may want to skip ahead about 20 seconds if you don't want to see this. This is a hardcore punk single from a band from Portland. This came out in 2017. I got it from Cliff. The band's called Dog Soldier. And the firing squad scene there. And then there's the band. And so this is some pretty heavy duty hardcore. Punk records stuffed with every cliche. So I had to go with kind of an obvious choice. Poison Ideas. Record collectors are pretentious assholes. So you got all the records and all the flyers there. And look at those dudes. This is a reissue, so that's even more of a cliche. Because Tang had moved from Boston to San Diego by the time that this one was made. Number 17, show a record you trust to babysit your houseplants. Well, I think CDs are more trustworthy than vinyl for that purpose, so I went for a CD, and I went with Babes in Toyland, Fontanelle. This is from like your early 1990s, like 1992. Actually on a major label, shockingly enough. And so these ladies, so because they're women rather than men, I think they'd be more responsible and actually remember to water your plants, and they would definitely scare off any possible intruders. And I don't think the band is vegan, because you don't want vegans watering your houseplants, because the vegans will eat your plants. And so I think they're meat eaters, so they probably won't eat your plants, but they probably will water them. And you got cool songs like Bruise Violet and Right Now and Quiet Room on here. Cat Bieland and Lori Barbero. All right, number 18. Which one punk record would you hand to an alien to teach the machines how to make music? And I'm just going to say no. We'll let humans make music, and we'll say fuck AI. Number 19. Show the punk record you'd hand to an alien to explain why humans lost hope. And so I know I'm supposed to go with something cool and obscure, but I'm going to go with the Dead Kennedys' Fresh Fruit and Rotting Vegetables from, I believe it was from 1980 originally. Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. This is a reissue on Manifesto rather than Alternative Tentacles, but I did stick in a sticker that I got from Alternative Tentacles, a takeoff on one of their singles, Nazi Punks Fuck Off, which is not on this particular record. And listening to this record, I listened to it recently, and it's kind of love-hate relationship, because it's like it's a great punk record, but then you realize how little progress the human race has made in the last 40-ish years. Then finally, number 20, if you were going to start a DIY punk band, what would its name be? And of course, I would go with CRT Records. CRT stands for Chris Rekkid Talk, CRT. Some of you might think it stands for Critical Race Theory, or Cranberry Romaine Turkey Sandwich, or Cheetos have been replaced by Takis.